because you may use a tarot deck, only because you may burn a candle, doesn't mean that you're worshiping and practicing idolatry. Guys, okay, so this is a really quick video. This is more so like a response video, or just like an extra bonus to the 144, the history of the light workers, and how I've been talking about divination in the Bible. And just a quick recap that the command for not to practice divination and all that stuff like that was given to the 11 tribes, and it's one tribe that has been ordained for divination, for priestly rites, and for rituals, etc. That is the tribe of Aaron, that is the high priests. And thank you so much for the comment too. So when she was practicing divination, she said that she was experiencing conflicting answers and she was feeling very confused. And this is because of the fact that it's just tools. Like, the user is the one that gives it meaning. No different than the Bible, no different than anything. When a person reads the Bible, or they read a textbook, whatever they may encounter, it's through them that they experience that specific modality. And tarot is a form of symbology. Remember how I was saying that is the feminine aspect. It's nothing but symbols, and how the way you interpret the symbols, that's your specific interpretation. It comes through the filter of the person, how they experience it. And then she also mentioned about Ouija boards being like a gateway to demonic energy. What it is, it taps into the subconscious mind. So if you are experiencing some type of activity, that means that you are the actual portal that's introducing or ushering in, or being the open door, open window to that type of energy. There's plenty of people that can use those types of tools, and they have some type of activity, that means that you are the actual portal that's introducing or ushering in, or being the open door, open window to that type of energy. Spirits, energies, entities, all interchangeable. So that would be a reason to go and check what's going on in your shadow self and do some shadow work. I did mention that if a message was meant to come through, that someone will come to you, sent by God, pretty much. And this is true. They are called prophets or prophetesses. And a high priest or a high priestess can be a prophet as well. This just reiterates my point that these different modalities, these different tools that are being used, are only for a certain branch of the collective, because of the fact that they're ordained to be using these tools to connect to God. And they're just ways of how to tap into the subconscious mind and the ego, and also the subconscious mind as well. So you can go through that video, and also through the text, and you can see that yes, there's different commands, but those different commands that were given to the 11 tribes, but there's one tribe that is welcomed, or that has been ordained into the Holy of Holies, and that they use all different types of tools and divinations, yes, to connect with God, to connect with the Holy Spirit. And you also have to realize that when these modalities were used, when different rituals, they weren't doing it just for mundane things. They were doing it to access different forms of wisdom, to commune with higher beings and entities such as angels. Sometimes angels would just come to them, and also prophets too, that they were really seeking God and using these different modalities to connect to God for higher purposes. So a lot of times when like these different modalities that are being used, they're being used nowadays as a way of how to just gain information to try to control a situation. Now these tools are used to master the self, not to be codependent. Now, most of the time when you see them, it's for people to be codependent, for people to be in their emotions, for people to be in their lower vibrational thoughts about judgment. But that is not mastering the self. So when I use it, and I always try to use it in the right way, I always try to seek the Most High, is to master the self. The same thing with astrology. The same thing with alchemy, which all is alchemy anyway. The same thing with anything, even food. Food is to master oneself, not to harm oneself. Now, if you're using it in the wrong way, that means that you're not using it the right way. No different than these different things that people try to demonize. A lot of people will try to say that this is idolatry, but this is not idolatry if you're using it in the right way. Now, anything can be an idol to someone, their food, their job, their relationship. And that's how most people teach to be codependent on something outside of themselves. But the way how I teach, and I do see other people teaching, is to master the self. And that's how these tools are supposed to be used. You can use anything to be an idol. If you're not using food the right way, if you're not using your money the right way, if you're not mastering your thoughts, everything can be used as an idol. So only because you may use a tarot deck, only because you may burn a candle, doesn't mean that you're worshiping and practicing idolatry. She did mention about test every spirit, that the devil can give blessings or signs and wonders just the same. And this is true, although you have to decode the word devil. But anyways, that the way how you test the spirit, is it bringing you self-mastery, or is it keeping you in an emotional state? Is it keeping you bound to something? Is it keeping you in an addiction? That's the way how you test the spirit, and that could be with anything. All right, so you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. If you did enjoy this video, feel free to share, subscribe, and like. Make sure you hit the notification bell. And if you're interested in joining the Patreon page, where you can help support this ministry for as little as $1.11, that you can find that link down below. Other services are listed down below, including the Ascended Bible Divine Guidance cards. That link is in the description box, and other videos that you can check out. If you have any questions or any comments, feel free to leave them down below, and I will talk to you guys.